All right. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the RJ Squared podcast, where we invite you to join the conversation. My name is Jamal, and I'm here with Renell and Jermaine, and we are your unfiltered crew, diving into life, culture, manhood, and so much more. We stream here live every Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. for now on YouTube and Instagram. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and join the conversation to help grow the channel and build our community. All right. Tonight's topic, let's get into it. It's entitled Closing Deals and Breaking Stereotypes, featuring Marce Realtor, who is our special guest for this evening. Hello, Marce.
Hello.
Or I should say, buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Es un placer estar aquí.
Perfecto, perfecto. That's great. So this is a guest that Renell invited on the show. Thank you, Renell, for that. But before we talk to Marce and ask her all the wonderful questions we have teed up for her, we do what we always do here, and we talk about what we've been doing this past week, especially this weekend. So Renell, I'm going to start with you. What's been good, man? What's going on?
My brother Noopsy, I had a great weekend. Got rained out towards the end there, but it was relatively good Friday, Saturday. Getting caught up on some of those episodes that we discussed this in the last couple of days, specific to Black Mirror. That I went back to season 1, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
Started watching. Yeah, you go back to season 1, you're like, whoa.
Because you forget it because it's been so long. It's been like 7-8 years.
Yeah. Yes, and it's like like damn, this is like, did I watch this? Did I see this? I did, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great going back because it was like the first time again, just kind of seeing those episodes. So really having a good time binging those episodes, so we can talk about that teaser for the ladies and gentlemen out there. We're going to be talking about Black Mirror and rating those seasons for you.
Absolutely, that's great. All right, so Jermaine, what you been up to, man? What's good?
As far as the weekend, man, just trying to make sure everything goes good. Well, had a couple mishaps with the business.
What happened? Everything all right?
Well, someone resigned and then decided they didn't want to resign. But it happens. And spoke with him. There's just certain things that he wanted as far as an employee or a driver, meaning like consecutive days off, more of a set schedule, because, with what I do, I send people out at 6 some nights, at 9 some nights, could be close to midnight. So I understood where he was coming from. He has a family. He's married with 2 kids, and I believe he has one on the way. But he's staying. But I still put a post out on Indeed, so I'm looking for 2 additional employees to bring on, just to make sure we're good. And then my other employee, car clumped out on the way to work yesterday to the truck, and he's still down today. So we call them declines, where I can't send an actual driver out for the route.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been dealing with.
Gotcha. Well, I'm fatigued. My wife decided to wrestle me in bed last night around 3 a.m. and I guess she heard a noise and just couldn't go to sleep and decided to put me in a grappling hook hold, and then I couldn't sleep. And yeah, so I'm kind of like, I'm pretty tired tonight, but I'm going to push through because we have our guest tonight. So I have to make it happen. So Marce, so thank you so much for being with us tonight. We're so happy to have you. You are our second guest, and that does not mean you are not number one in our hearts tonight, but thank you so much. So we'd love to ask you all sorts of questions. I don't have any questions right now, but I think as the conversation gets going, I'm going to have tons of questions. But, I think the best place to start is, tell us about yourself. Where are you from? Where do you call home? Why are you a realtor? All that. So you're on the stage. Go for it.
Great. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. My name is Marcela. You can call me Marce. I love your accent, the Marce. It sounds a little bit French.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad.
I go by Marce Realtor on my social media, and that's how I started, building my brand. Everybody calls me Marce since I was very young. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia. I was born and raised there, and I came to the U.S. when I was 18 years old. My parents sent me here. It's a funny story because they didn't want me to marry my boyfriend from that moment who proposed me. So it was kind of a those soap opera stories. So I came here for 6 months just to study English, and I was supposed to go back. And then I came to this beautiful country, and I fell in love with the culture, with the freedom, with the opportunities, and the that American dream that a lot of people talks about. Um, it was very challenging at the beginning, but it was also very interesting because it made me who I am right now. So I've been an entrepreneur for many years. I went to college here. I did banking for a while in California, and then I joined the real estate business about it's going to be 13 years ago here in Florida, and just helping people, especially Hispanics, helping get them their first homes, or helping them with their rental needs or the commercial needs. Just that process is just wonderful for me. To be able to help them get their dreams, and provide them with that key and way of investment. So throughout the years, I've been, helping people who are already established here, and also, Hispanics that are coming to Florida for the first time for investment. So guiding them through, my experience, and treating them as I wanted to be treated always, with respect and integrity and also professionalism. So I found many, many interesting ways of investment here in Florida. I love it. I've been here again 13 years ago in Florida, because before I was in California. And it's the most similar place to home. Here we have the food, the people. We are only 3 hours away from Colombia.
That's right. Real
So
close.
it's, it's being away from home, but not missing it because we have everything here. So I can say I'm a U.S. citizen now. I'm an American, but my heart's still Colombian. That's not
All
gonna go.
right. Congratulations.
Nice,
So
nice.
do you fly Spirit when you go back?
No, I prefer Avianca.
Oh, thank God. I was going to say, I'm so sorry. Because I, I fly Spirit, and because it's cheap and they got the most options, but okay.
No, I try it, but I haven't had a good experience. I always try
No one
the
does. No, it's
Avianca,
not
but
just you.
even American Airlines, it's much better than it's getting.
That's funny. Even American Airlines is better.
Yeah, because they got up. It was a time where they was like their customer service was really bad, and they're
It's
starting to
better than
improve
Spirit.
now. It is better than Spirit.
It's
Yes,
better
that's
than
for
Spirit, I
sure.
tell you that. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. I greatly appreciate that. So, Renell, you have a video that you wanted us to start, but I didn't know if you wanted to start with your questions or
No,
jump
no.
in.
Let's go
I think
video.
let's save the video for a second.
Okay. Save the video.
So I wanted to say, Marce, again, welcome. So good to have you. So good to see you after all these years. For the record and for the audience out there, Marcela's a long-term dear friend of mine, and really happy to see her again and just see the woman that she has become. She is the epitome, and you said it yourself, Marcela, the epitome of the American dream. So proud of you and what you've done, and the woman you've become. So hats off to you for doing what you've done, and being that trailblazer that you are. What I would like to do before you start crying, what I would like to do is, and I come from a place of love with that. So what I would like to do is kind of rewind a little bit and go back to your childhood, right? And maybe talk about, like, what was it like growing up in the early 90s, late 80s in Cali, Colombia, because that's where you're from, is Cali. So can you talk to us a little bit, give us the Cliff Notes version, and tell us what that was like before you took that journey to come to the United States?
Yeah, it was the best times of my life. It was, back then we didn't have any internet or anything like, we have today. So it was really um, a lot of human connection. You
Yeah.
used to go out and play with your friends.
What? Wow.
Uh,
What is that?
Well, the ring ring corre corre, la lleva, escondite, like all of these, games you will go out and actually play with your friends and run and I don't know, the ring ring corre corre that you would like knock on doors and then just run and hide. Um, the family, of course, the Colombian and especially Cali, we love to celebrate, we love parties, so it's always celebration. There's always music. Cali, it's the salsa capital, we love to play and dance salsa. I come from a family where they love music and to play instruments, so I was always um, around it. My grandpa uh, was a very, it's called melomano, like where they like actually have like the long plays, and it was all about the Cuban music, of course salsa, a lot of boleros. So it was very, very, very nice. I was fortunate enough to attend a bilingual school. Back then it was not very popular. So I kind of always had the American culture, because we had professors that were from either here or the United Kingdom. So I had that connection too. So when I was also growing, the Backstreet Boys and all of that was like popular too. So it was kind of a cultural thing, because people, my other friends that were not into bilingual stuff were like, "What are you talking about? This is Colombia Español." But I was trying to practice my English. Um, so Cali, it's very nice. The food is delicious. We have something called El Rio Pance, which back then it was a beautiful river, and that was like the thing. Go there during the weekend with the family and prepare sancocho, which is like a typical dish. Um, so it was like very nice family, um, love, laughs. It's funny that Colombia was stigmatized because of all of these narcos thing and the the bad things. But I can tell you, like, I grew up in Cali for 18 years of my life, and it was a very nice and safe childhood. Like nothing like you see in those soap operas that they're showing or what's going on today. So it was very, very nice.
Thank you. So you mentioned, you left when you were 18. Your parents basically said to you, shoo, shoo, you're not getting married. Get out of here. You're not getting married. Go live a little, is what they said, right? And so that you came to the United States. And when you came to the United States, could you just kind of like pinpoint, okay, I think you stopped in Virginia first, right?
I did. I did. I
Yeah.
stopped in Virginia. I went to Virginia Community College. I remember that was in 2004 because my older
Your
brother
brother. Hmm.
was there.
Hmm.
Um, so it was interesting because, of course, going and we being away from home, it kind of give you, that freedom. Uh, but starting a new life, learning the language, because one thing is when you go to a school but you don't really practice it every day. And the stereotypes, my maiden name is Escobar Marcela Rojas Escobar. So the Rojas, which is my first last name here, they will disappear, and it was Marcela R. Escobar. So of course this new Colombian Escobar. So they used to call me the Coco Land girl, in college, and that made me so mad. Like I remember the first time I was like hating it. What do you know about Colombia? And they didn't even know how to place it on the map, but they know
Yeah.
the Coco place. So that
Yeah.
at the first time when I first arrived, it was one of the hardest things for me to deal, this stigma because of where I came from. So that actually made me kind of have this feeling of um, being an ambassador, like whomever is going to meet me, I want to show them the best of not only
Yeah.
Canada, but Colombia. So it was always like, okay, about the coffee, about the, all of the birds that we have, about the emerald. And I started telling them like the good things about Colombia. and how resilient we are and how happy and sociable. So that kind of, I was like, I'm gonna take this opportunity, and then started bringing coffee or like empanadas or like different dishes for them to try. And that's how I kind of like started, having this confidence of, what. And then of course they knew me, and they started knowing my family. Okay, not everybody is like that. I didn't even saw, and everybody laughs. In my life in Colombia, I never even saw marijuana or anything like that. It was here in college. Like the guys, like all of these American guys, like this bomb thing and like crazy things. And I'm like, okay, maybe we produce it in my country, but it's not like that. We don't do it. We don't use it. So yeah, like I guess the stigma, that was one of this stereotype thing. And later on, with all of those, again, because I think all of the movies and the soap operas and the muñecas de la mafia and all of this, being from Cali, so they think you're gonna be easy, and that you're just gonna sell for money, or I don't know, like, because that's what they were seeing. So it's like, no, I'm caleña, but I'm not like that, like what you're thinking. Para no decir la mala palabra, caleña,
Sí,
pero
sí,
no
sí,
soy
sí. Not
eso.
like that.
We
And
need subtitles when y'all switch over to Spanish. So, so Jermaine, what's going on, man? I see a lot of wheels turning in your head.
No, I was just writing some of the things down she was saying. Interesting. I know she brought up that her ex-boyfriend, which obviously was in the adolescent years, was going to propose or did propose, and your parents sent you over here, but your parents did stay in Colombia but sent you, correct?
correct.
Okay. Where did you stay when you came here? Was it with other family members? What state was it? And also, this is a two-part question. And then, what college did you go to, and what did you graduate? If so, what degree do you hold?
I arrived to Virginia. It's a place called Ashburn, Virginia, very close to the Dallas airport. My older brother was there. He was working in, starting his life. So my parents, he offered to host me with together with his wife, and which I'm always very grateful, because it's very, very hard for the people, to open the door of your home and host a teenager. Back then I was 18 years old and having that responsibility. So they host me there for about a year or so. I got my F1 status, which was, the status to be able to go to college. It was called Northern Virginia Community College back then. And I did there only ESL, because in order to start, the regular college, you needed to, since I didn't have the SAT or the TOEFL, I had to do this process called ESL. And after that, I moved to Los Angeles, California. There's where I met Reynel, because I have a very, very interesting story. I was raised by my dad, which is, the greatest man, and I love him. But I had a biological dad that I didn't know until I was 19. So the reason why I ended up in LA was because, he wanted to meet me, and I had the amazing opportunity to reconnect after so many years with my biological dad, who's now in heaven because COVID took him too early. But to do all of that healing process, and that's how I ended up in California. He had a company there. He offered me, come here, because one of the most important things as an immigrant here is to have your status. And I was like, I'm never gonna, I want to do everything in the right way. So, that's why, I did all of my processes step by step. And then he offered me to, since he was, everything, he can, through his company and everything, give me my documents so I could, be a green card holder and continue my life here. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So
I ended up.
I find that interesting because look, now we're getting into the nuts and crannies. So you came over here, you stayed with your brother. Did you know growing up, because you said you had a stepfather growing up, did you know that your stepfather was not your biological father, or when did you find that out?
I knew I always knew, because when I was born, I had my biological dad last name, which
Mm.
it was, imagine this is funny. and Raynel is going to understand it because I was Marcela Rodriguez Escobar, which Rodriguez back then it was El Cartel de Cali, and then Escobar, of course it was like Pablo Escobar. So it was like this last thing, and
She
I'm like,
was
oh
like
my God.
double mafia.
I know. And I was like, it gets me so mad. And I mean, it has nothing to do, like, we're not like that. We're not like that. But I always, yeah, I grew up knowing, and I grew up with I have a little sister and my older brother. So it was a beautiful blended family because my older brother, it's my stepdad's first kid. I am my mom's first kid. And then Melissa, which is my little sister, it's, product of that union. And we grew up like, with no differences.
So,
So
so I know back then it was probably, I know it's a tad bit different nowadays with like um ancestral tree and 33andMe, whatever they call the things nowadays. How did you and your father, your biological father, get in touch back then when the internet was just starting? You still had landlines. You didn't have, certain things to depend on to actually find relatives as far as DNA. How did that happen? Did he reach out to you? Did you reach out to him? Was it a third party?
it was a third party. As a matter of fact, Juan, which is the guy who proposed me, and he was really upset because I decided not to come back to Colombia. Contact him to tell him that I was, here, and he wanted to help and do something with his daughter. There was a time for me because he wanted me to somebody to convince me to come back to Colombia. So that was, he gave him my number back then. Cell phones, it was 2004. Cell phones were were already in place, the flip phone back then. And then I remember it was Messenger or Skype that we
BlackBerry?
used. No, BlackBerry was later.
Oh, was it?
I think
Okay.
the BlackBerry was later. The beginning was like the flip phones that I remember. So
Metro, Nokia,
Ring, no,
Ring,
something Sprint. I think it was a company called Sprint.
Sprint.
And then yeah, he called me to invite me over to California. And I always thought that he never wanted me or he was rejecting me. And then when I came, there was this big meeting, over 200 people. He was doing the toast and everything. And then he introduces me in front of all of these people. And everybody actually knew who I was. And oh my God, the daughter. So it was the interesting because then I heard another, his version of the story. So I was like, no, 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 wait a minute. This doesn't make sense with what I know. I want you to tell me in front of my mom. So my mom flew. We actually went to Las Vegas, I remember, and I had the most amazing experience to have my mom and my biological dad tell me the real story, and then, um, and
Which one was more real, from your mom or your father? Which one made more sense and was more real?
of course my mom. Moms are
Okay,
always right.
okay,
Moms are always right, and then you guys always trying to make excuses, but it was amazing because I didn't know they were actually married. They got married. Like they showed me the pictures, everything. They were very young. His family was like against my mom, so the family was, they had a lot of issues there, and there was just, they were married again, and they were looking, to have a child, but my mom couldn't, it took her a while to get pregnant, and then finally when she got pregnant, he had already the plan to go to the States. And when she got her visa, then she didn't get approved, and the only way to do it was, to go through another ways. And my mom was like, I'm not gonna go there with any other way that is not legal. And then they stopped talking because he found another lady, and he
so he was like, deuces.
abandoned, he abandoned my mom. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Hey, interesting. No, I just wanted to ask those few questions, but I'll let
You can
Renell
go
go.
for
I know you want to speak about the business because you are a businesswoman. We do want to touch on that. You've told us a lot about your personal story. I'm going to let Raynell or Jamal take over. I appreciate that, young lady. Go ahead, guys.
Jambo.
Oh, it's me? Okay. Well, I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on America versus Colombia? We kind of touched on that before we went live, but I guess name some things you love about America and things you don't love versus things you love about Colombia and things you don't. I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that.
I think what I love is the love for the country and the patriotism. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Patriot for Colombia
For
or
For
America.
American,
oh
for
for
American.
oh okay. All
Yes,
right.
it's and you see it in the Air Force and everything. It's an honor to serve and to go and the rules. People follow the rules. There's a respect for the authorities. And
That's a positive thing. You think
it's
that's
a
good.
very positive thing, and
Okay.
that's why I'm a part of America. Because if you have to pay your taxes, you do it. If you have to do the line, you do it. There's that respect, and that's why things work here. Um, it was a little bit challenging. I do have to be honest when I moved from Virginia to LA, I mean California, and then Florida, because there's so much influence here of Hispanics and other cultures. At the beginning, like the first year for me was like hectic because I was not used to people using the horn, or like people will like stop for the pedestrian to pass. Here it's a little bit more like you feel more like in a Latin country sometimes.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit shocking, but it's just America. I love the fact that there's that honor, there's that order, there's that respect, and people follow the rules. Of course, Colombians very warm. Uh,
Warm in terms of the people, you mean?
the people, yes, yes.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Um,
would agree.
we are very caring. There's always like always trying to help each other. Having that sense of family, which is to me that's like really important, and one of the things I compare and I miss back then. I am fortunate enough because that was my dream to have my family here. So little by little, like I have my sister here, my mom, like throughout the years, I kind of opened the path for them to come and make it easier and to be together and have that bond that is what always united us as family. But then yeah, like the rhythm, the food, the people, la sabrosura, like Colombia is just like is just that beautiful mess that that you love.
Beautiful mess. I love that. That's great.
We got
That's
to put
funny.
that. That's a quote of the year.
I
Beautiful
think so.
mess.
Beautiful mess. Yeah.
Love that.
So many images came to mind that I probably shouldn't say in front of you when he said that. Because remember, I've been to Colombia a lot. But you're right. The food is amazing. I can't stress how good the food is in Colombia. It's like it was killed that morning, whatever it is, and it's just fresh and full of flavor, just like the people. So appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. The medical service, that's one of the things that I miss. I love my
Yeah.
Colombian doctors, like the dentist, the after your everything. Like that is something that in Colombia, like you actually know your doctor. He can give
Mhm.
you his number. He knows you, like, and it was very hard here. Now that's one of the things I love about South Florida, because like the pediatrician of my kids, he's from Cali, and he knows me. I
Oh, there
can
you go.
WhatsApp him. Like it's amazing. Like I try to find those doctors that really care, because I remember
Mhm.
it was like when they go, how it is, they just go so fast
Yeah.
that they don't really make that connection with you. So that's one of
Mhm.
the things that Colombia, I think we're very good at it.
But I think you touched on that about the culture. I mean, it's just there's warmth, whereas here, I feel like because we are such a culture that is focused on capitalism and kind of a pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of a thing. It does kind of alienate you from making connections, and then social media doesn't really help. So, but I think despite there being social media, at least when I go to visit Colombia, it's a very warm, very social, very inviting place, and I love it. I really do. If I could, I'd figure out how to live there. But then, of course, I'd be like what do you call that? Being an
Expat.
expat. Yep, expat. Yep, I would definitely do that. So cool, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna swing it back to you, Renell.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you, Numsi.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Marce, so we were talking about, kind of putting our little thumbnail on the spots that you landed, right? So you landed in Virginia first, and then I think you hung out in New York a little bit, right? Or you just would just go there to party, right?
I used to go. No, not to party, because remember, I was 18.
You party. Come on, let's be honest. Okay, but
No, I was always looking. Yeah, like
did you go to
for
30
food.
30? Did you go to 30
No.
30? No?
30
Okay.
30? What's that?
Yeah. It's a club in New York. Well, I think they closed it down in it's one of the big Colombian clubs.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't, because remember that the fact that I was 18, it was really hard for me to.
Oh yeah.
They were ID me, so I
Yeah.
couldn't get in those places. I was just for, there's this street, like I guess it was in New Jersey, where they have a lot of Colombian restaurants.
Yeah.
Because back then in Virginia there was like no Colombian restaurants at all.
Right.
So I will drive all the way, or fly to New York to to find something like the hamburgers, or the
Yeah.
empanadas, or the bandeja paisa, like the
Yeah.
our flavors.
Yeah.
So, and
Okay.
then I have that's why
So
I
you
went.
did a little bit of time in Virginia, popped up to New York every now and again, and then you made the hop over to the West Coast to live with your dad for a little bit, right? To work with your dad, I think is
To
what you
work with
said.
him and live,
Yeah.
and then it was 8 years, 9 years of my life there. I did LA, and then I went to Orange County, which was my favorite,
Yeah.
favorite. I remember San
San,
Clemente.
San Clemente was beautiful. Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
gorgeous. Oh my God. Yeah, it was gorgeous. Wow. Yeah, I just had a flashback. But so this is a perfect time, Jambone. So I have a little video for you, and I think you're gonna like it, Marce. I think it's gonna actually inspire you. More so than anything else, the song. And probably bring back some memories. Jam, would you do Jam, would you do the honors, please?
Yes.
There you go. Is that from the beginning?
That's from the beginning.
Okay.
I'm about to hit play. You ready?
Yeah, ready.
Oh my God, my wow.
Okay, copyright.
Yeah, before we get so I play that song
Dancing here. Oh my
It's
God.
funny.
Yeah.
Copyright.
because that song was hot. And as a matter of fact, you and I used to dance that song a lot. And I have to say, like, I have to give you props, girl, because you were, oh, probably are still an amazing dancer. Like, to this day, Marce, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I've never danced with a woman the way I dance with you. Like, I felt like we were like a glove. We fit perfectly. And I kind of felt like you made me look good. Like, because I didn't even dance that good.
People will stare at us.
Yes.
I remember
Yes,
they would
girl.
like go to
Yes.
the
Whoa,
club,
whoa,
and
whoa, whoa, run that back. You
yeah,
said people would stare at you. Why? What were they? Why were they?
because
They were
we
such good dancers.
danced it really good. Yeah.
Were you dancing, or was it more than dancing? Or
No, dancing. What are you talking about? It was just,
I mean,
dancing.
because you were okay. All right, I'm just asking for clarity. Okay, all right, that's cool.
Dancing. You know what? Yeah. Since I was a child, I always loved to dance. And that's one of the things I missed a lot. I haven't been, out. There's something called El Salsódromo in Cali, which is every year they have La Feria de Cali. And all of the, dancers, they do like this parade, like kind of the Rio de Janeiro. I don't know if you've been to that, and it's beautiful because there's all of this flavor, rhythm, amazing artists doing it. And then one of the my sister's best friend, he owns a salsa academy in Cali, and I used to go out with them. And I had that, what you just told me, reminded me of Alonso, it's his name. We dance, he's gay. Oh, no. So that you don't think bad, Jermaine. And we were dancing, and he said, like, oh my,
Jermaine.
if I met you 10 years ago, I will never become gay. Like, I just know and then that I'm being cocky right now, but yeah, like I was so proud, like a salsa professor, like an instructor, he was telling me that I do it so good, so I should practice again.
That was hot.
Wow.
That was hot for sure.
Well, I'll say this about Cali. I mean, I really love how multicultural it is. And, that was the first time I'd seen people who looked like me who only spoke Spanish. And that video kind of reminded me of that feeling, how, just how multicultural it is. So, what are your thoughts on just how the differences in people's backgrounds and ethnicities are in Colombia compared to the United States? What's your take on that? How do you feel about that? That's a heavy
Well,
question.
it is. It is. It's funny because Cali, more of, I believe the last time I checked, it was over 60% of the population. It's, African American, or, Black, how would we say
Oh,
it?
is it really?
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but
Afro
we have
Latina.
Afro Latino, yeah. We have a big influence because we're close to the, Buenaventura and the coast. So
Mhm.
they come, and that's like, if you see my son, like even me, like my grandpa, he was dark skin. So for us, it's part of the culture. Now, if you
Mhm.
go like to Bogota, for instance, or to even some places in Medellin, they're like light skin and like
Yeah.
more, the light hair.
Mhm.
So there were families that were super racist.
Mm.
But now that those back in the days, now it's more like everybody, we just accept everybody. Like I don't feel it like that. And the same here. Like I don't feel that. But again, 20 years ago it was a little bit different. But
Mhm.
today I don't see there's much of a difference. I think more of with the people, what they call them here, like, and which is a bad term, but like the rednecks. I think there's more like a division, but because there's like, the thing against Latinos and African Americans. But I personally haven't feel it here in South Florida. I don't
Mhm.
feel anything uh, where we can say about discrimination or anything like that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
South
happy to hear
Florida
that.
might as well be South America, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
nothing but Spanish, and that's a good thing.
Mhm.
So let's get on to what you do as a realtor. So what is it exactly that you do from a career standpoint, from a business standpoint? Marce, the realtor. Let's touch on who you are now.
First of all, of course, getting to understand the needs of my clients and what is it that they really need. Listening, because it's not only about selling and selling. It's just about building that relationship, and that's something that I really love about this career. That I've met, amazing people that become my friends, and then I continue to be the go-to person, not only for when buying, reselling, and expanding their interest. So it's very nice, again, to build that, helping them, understanding their needs. Um, I can help them, buy their homes, like if they're renting, if they're expanding their business, so help them with their, office space or warehouse, whatever their need is. And one of the nice things, again, helping the Latino community are those clients that are, in a foreign country that they want to come here to invest, especially because there's so much information out there, but at the end, it's just not what they really need. So helping them how to invest correctly if they're looking for their documents. So I have like a nice team of professionals that they can help them in all their immigration needs. Partner with the best lenders because there's people in Colombia, for instance, that they even didn't know that they can qualify for loans here as foreign investors. And it's much easier than even qualifying for a loan in Colombia. So I have, the team of experts that help them, guide them through the process of how to get them a loan. And buy their home, their second property, invest in their business. I have another group of people that we do the franchise. There's people who want to, invest in franchise and have their business here. So, connect them through that. And also just planning if they want to do they want to come here. Okay, let's do a business plan. What is it that you do? Because some of my clients have a business already, existing business in their country of origin. So there's process to, you can do and record the company here, and then through that process they can also get their immigration status good. So since I'm a mother, to me being in a very nice neighborhood, the schools, the doctors, so I kind of become like not only the realtor, but I help them, here's the school, or this is the doctor, this is the nail salon or the spa, like, kind of guide them through the process, because I know it's hard and it's easy. It's difficult when you come for the first time. So make them that path and make it smoother for them. Again, as if you want, as if I'm helping my own family or how I want it to be treated.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, that's a woman that wears a lot of veils, as far as from a business standpoint. So you're a realtor, so obviously you sell property, brick and mortars, homes. Do you go commercial also, because you brought up putting people in businesses, so you find them some type of brick and mortar. You have investment people that can help, maybe CPAs, financial advisors, things of that nature. So you're literally helping people who come from other countries, majority I take it South America, and you're technically, in urban terms, or how the young people say it, the plug. You have it all. You're a one-stop shop.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Try to connect them. The plug, that sounds funny. But yeah, to connect them. And I love to do that. I'm really good at connection. And if there's something that I can know, I don't know it, I don't do it. But that's why I like to, you know, for me, relationships is the most important thing. I partner with the best. And I do commercial up until, some limit. When there's like huge things, then I have the guys too, when they're like doing over 10 million deals. So it's a little bit more complex. I have the team who manages that. Also investment, it's becoming very interesting, because there's people who don't have, the price of real estate have increased over the years, especially after 2020. So there's people who don't have that amount of money yet to qualify for their investment homes. So for the past 8 years, I've also found a very interesting investment model, which is investing in precious metals, in gold, which is also another, vehicle that I provide my clients if they don't have the $500,000 right now to invest, or and they don't want to do the loan, but they have 50,000, they have 100,000, whatever they want, they have. I can help them also, with the investment gold bonds. So that's been very interesting too. Actually, recently launched my jewelry line. It's called Mashallah. So you guys go and give some love in Instagram. With personalized, pieces of 18 and 22 karat gold.
Okay. Did you start this from you investing in precious metals, or this is just a line you started? You wanted to get into the jewelry realm of business. How did that happen?
It happened 8 years ago. One of my clients and good friends, they had the same company in Colombia, and they wanted to move here and start the journey in the United States. So I helped them, base their company here, set up the company here, help them with the office and everything. And they needed somebody that they trusted. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I never, knew about this business. Let me help them, because the only thing is that for the precious metals business, especially, they have a little bit more of regulations. So the legal representatives and the people in charge had to be a U.S. citizen. So I kind of, started helping them, and I fell in love with the opportunity, and we grew the company for over 6 years. I was the managing director of that company, and made it explode in a good way of saying. And the whole point of that was to get her and her family, the American dream, the visa, and the way to come here legally. So that happened. And when that moment arrived, we just, as every partnership, we took separate ways. And I continue my journey, and she continued with that company that I was telling you. But I learned a lot during those 6 years.
Okay. Insider trading. What's the best precious metal to purchase as a startup investor? Gold?
Right now, yes, it is gold. And then it can buy from 1 gram all over with, the bars. You don't have to think about, the kilo bars. There's bars of 1 gram, 5 grams, up to, you start making it the amount
Now,
that you can provide.
there are different limits for precious metal buying. Like if you're a regular consumer individual, it's different from the amount of ounces or grams that you can buy from a actual corporation, correct? Aren't there different limitations when you can invest in precious metal, or how much you could purchase as an individual compared to like a jewelry company?
I mean, you as a consumer, you can buy your gold, Yes, when you're talking about quantities and stuff, then you have to do all of the KYC and the compliance all of the compliance process. But as a natural person, you can also invest. I mean, there's no limitation for you. You just have to go whomever you're gonna, of course, find a valid source. They have to do their due diligence and their process to also be able to sell you have to be a qualified customer. And you also, when you're a company, it's different, but as a natural person, there's no limitation.
Nice,
You can
nice.
buy.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Ray.
No, I'm listening to you speak, Marce, and I'm just from ear to ear just smiling because I'm so proud of you. Like, this is so amazing, the things that you've accomplished. Just it's amazing. Um, I want to shift gears a little bit and kind of talk about motherhood and family, if that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like,
Or do you still want to talk business? You still want to talk business?
no, that's perfectly
Okay.
fine.
So you mentioned that you have, 2 children, and I want to know or what your thoughts on, do you instill like in your children drawing from both your Colombian and your American heritage? Is it like 50-50, or do you really just put all of your Colombia energy into them, or what's that like at home raising them? What's that been like?
It's been a journey. It's called yesterday when we were celebrating motherhood, Mother's Day, was like, oh my God, this is the most difficult job I
Yeah.
have. It's a 24/7 job, and I think I can manage everything else and stuff, but when it comes to them, it's really, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Mariana and Alejandro, my chinches, I call them my Miss Chinches. I have a 17 and a 13-year-old teenagers.
Mhm.
To me, and one of the reasons why I decided to come to South Florida was because being, I wanted them to be fluent in Spanish, but a good Spanish, and I found it in LA a little bit difficult. Now the just a parenthesis, the bad thing is that I started losing my English because I don't really speak English here. Everything is Spanish. So they make fun of me all the
Yeah.
time. Mommy, you speak with an accent. Mommy, you speak like Sofia Vergara. And I'm like, no, you don't compare me. I don't have an accent, but of course. And it's because the majority of my clients are, Latino, Spanish speakers. So I don't practice. So the rules of just Spanish at home. I don't know English, and they're like, yeah, mom, you speak English. So that was easy with the first one, but when the second one came, she started to mix. So she does what I don't like, but she does speak Spanglish a little bit. So I was very rigid, like strict at the beginning. Okay, if you don't speak Spanish, don't talk to me. But then she stopped talking to me. So I'm like,
Oh,
no,
wow.
I don't want her
Called your
to.
bluff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I prefer for her telling me to stop, like, whatever, but talk to me. I don't want you to stop it. I never thought it was gonna be a bad thing, having the full Colombian, and because in mi casa, in my house, my house, my rules, y punto, and the way how I was raised, I use the same, techniques. Of course, trying to learn, read, go to parenthood classes and everything. But one of the things that I found it challenging, especially in these years, it's the fact that they're always comparing with their other friends. For instance, when they want to go to parties, right? Um, I'm going to X and X friend, and I always want to know what friend, and I need to know where they live, and I need to know the parents' phone number. They don't understand that, and to me that was okay. Now
Mm.
I understand that because Americans, they're a little bit more free. They don't care. Like, I hosted parties here for my kids where the parents don't even know me. They just drop the kid out there and buy, and
Mhm.
and I'm not like that. I go down.
Mhm.
I want to be
Which is which is a good thing.
um so it kind of, to me, that's okay, but it kind of, to their eyes, I do it because I'm Colombian, you do it because you're old school, and they're always comparing. So it's a non-stop thing. They're always comparing. My friends, they allow them to do pijamadas, stay overs. I don't allow them. I don't
Yeah,
let them stay in
I'm not a
other
fan.
houses.
Wait,
Mhm.
what? You don't what? Wait, say that again.
I don't
Sleepovers.
let
Oh, sleep.
sleepovers.
My mom didn't
The
play that
pajama.
either.
So this is even with your daughter. So no girl sleepovers, all girls, no, like just no sleepovers at all.
I don't let her stay out. I allow them here at home with their friends. If they want to do it here, I don't have a problem with that, but I don't let them stay out.
Okay, you
I
need
get
to be in
that.
control, pretty much.
I get that.
Let's just be for real. A little bit.
It's well, yeah. If you want, I have to admit it. Yeah, I'm a little. I like to be in control, but it's also because I've seen so many things that I want to be sure my kids are safe,
Hey,
and I prefer to
that's
do it
that's
that
a
way.
good thing. Look,
Yeah.
that's how I would want my child's mother to be. So I can't say that's a bad thing. There's always good control, and there's control that could be a tad bit overwhelming. When you're dealing with the safety of your own kids, you do what you have to make sure they're safe. I truly believe that. So I can't blame you with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I just think that I do have to, like, and especially like people thinking like me, that we are, with this Colombian mindset or the way how I was raised. Because sometimes when it's too strict, then they kind of, like what
Act
happened
out.
with my son, they kind of, you, como se dice, los revientas, like you just,
They want to do it more.
Tear them apart.
yeah, in
Mhm.
a way where they stop seeing you as their friend. They start seeing you like as an enemy, like the person who's always, telling their no. So the hair, I don't know if you're seeing of these kids nowadays, they have a hair like, like a messy nest. And I was like, I want you to cut your hair in this way and that way, like the military style. And but it's just, I have to understand that this is modern times, it's different times, and just let them be. So the earrings thing, I will not let him do the piercing in his ears, and then it was something that he really wanted to do. So it comes to a point where now I'm like realizing that, okay, being that strict, I need to kind of let go a little bit of on certain things, so they don't get with that they don't get angry towards me.
I think that's a good practice. I do.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna end things off with the last question before we outro here. But before I do that, did anyone have any want to have like a final question for Marce before I start?
So I was going to ask Marcela, going back to the journey, is there, and this is kind of an overarching question, was there an experience that made you feel like, or a moment in time in that journey over here, where you said to yourself, yeah, I made the right decision, or conversely, damn, maybe I didn't make the right move? Was there a moment like that?
I had many moments like that,
Yeah.
and one of those, was when I got my bachelor's degree. And the reason why I came here and I wanted to get my bachelor's degree, what back, in 2004, 2006, I graduated of mom first. So because of that, I had to kind of stop because it was, I had to, the full-time job and then being a mom. So I stopped college for a couple of years until I turned 28, and I said I need to get this degree before I do before I turn 30. So I was a single mom with two kids, and I just said I'm gonna do it with a full-time job. When I think about that part of my life, I don't know how I did it, but I
Yeah.
had the most amazing babysitter, the best support system of my friends, and I did. It was like a hybrid model where I had to go 2 days in person and then everything was online. And the moment came when I finally graduated. It was in 2016, 10 years after. And the speech on my graduation celebration was done by my Alejandro. My son back then was 8 years old. And how proud he was of his mom, like
Yeah.
she finally did it. I have my diploma, even though I was not thinking of, going to the corporate America job because I, wanted to be have my own company. But that was one of the moments where I finally did it. So to share one of the stories that, making them proud of mommy makes
Good
me
for
good.
you. We're all proud of you.
Yeah,
Jermaine.
thank you so much.
No, I want to say thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. You spoke well, articulate. The question I have is, who's better, American women or Colombian women?
What was the
Yeah, I'm gonna
question?
put you on the spot. Which one is better, American women or Colombian women?
Oh my God. Well, of course, Colombian women.
Okay.
Sorry for
But
my
Well,
hold on.
American friends,
But you
but
can't. But hold
Colombian.
on.
big
Hold on.
shot.
Hold on. If you're gonna say that, you got to say why. You can't just say Colombian women. Why? Give us the
Well,
why.
and again, when I was talking about how warm we are, how caring we are, and when I think about the type of woman that I would love for my son, to marry, again, it's just the culture, but we take care of man, we take care of the family. And I believe because of the culture here, they're more individualized and they're like more selfish. So, I think that that family oriented thing that we have, that it's so important to be there for each other, to support, and we're not talking about the physical or the materialistic things. It's just that part of the soul and the importance of caring for each other. I think that makes us unique, and that's what I would like for my kid.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well,
Good
great.
answer.
Oh yeah, that was a great answer. No, thank you for that. So my final question is this. So what advice do you have for young women or even young Latina women chasing success? What advice do you have for them?
Hey, that's a good one. Um,
Thank you.
I think that the most important and difficult thing is to believe in yourself, because we are always, are like the worst criticisms for myself. Just believe in yourself, have your north clear. What is it that you want to achieve? And then, even though it's theirs, life is gonna go, unexpected things are going to happen, but if you have your north clear, you're going to reach that goal. Don't go the easy way. There's always going to be temptations to do your easy way, but if you have your values and your morals and know who you are, the most important thing for me is to go and sleep and have my conscience clear, that everything I've done, yet through sacrifice, through hard work, but it's been in a good way, in a legal way, in a way that is going to make me feel proud. And that if you're a mother like me, all I think is like, whenever I go, and meet God, I want to have a nice legacy that they remember and they talk about their mom. Of course, we're not perfect. We're going to have mistakes, but nothing that is going to make them feel ashamed. Just, make them proud, and that's what I can say.
Good
Awesome.
answer. Good question, Jamal.
Great answer. Yeah, absolutely. Well, on that note, we're going to
I
conclude.
mean, I could have asked a real question. I was just bushing, but
Oh, here we go.
go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, you gonna let me finish? Okay, great. So thank you, Marcella, so much for that answer and your time tonight. So where can people find you on social media?
I can be found in Marce Realtor in Instagram,
All right.
and Mashallah World for the gold investment part. Mashallah
Oh,
World.
that's right. Oh, okay, right. That's the investment part. That's the precious metals.
That's the precious metals, correct.
Perfect.
And what we
Thank
could
you
do,
for that.
Jamal, what we could do if she sends you the links, we can put the links on the actual description to
Oh,
make
yeah.
it easy for you. So if people want to link up with you, they can have the links from the actual YouTube channel. If
Yeah,
you
we'll
just send it to
hashtag
Jamal right now.
Yeah, we can do that. All right. Cool.
Marce,
And when you're ready,
don't forget, I need my realtor in Colombia. You said you're gonna hook me up, right?
I do for Pereira.
Pereira.
Pereira. Yeah, we have to talk, because I want to know how soon are you planning to, move? What is it that you want? If it's a
Yeah.
farm, apartment, what type, so I can send you
I'll have my people contact your people.
Your people.
your
Okay.
people.
Well, let's save it for
And
the
when
after.
November is ready to find that beautiful Colombian wife,
Oh, he's ready. He is ready, girl.
So
I'll be
let me
happy
say,
to
well,
help you design the engagement ring.
I'll talk in the after hours about that, about marriage and how I feel about that. But
Yeah. So
yeah, I like
just
Asian and Spanish women and
okay.
white women. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So in case you didn't know, Marcelo, we have an after party. It's kind of where we remove the censor and kind
Freestyle.
of say how we really feel.
Okay.
But yeah, we got some feedback in the comment section here. But yeah, so before we do that, Renell, where can people find you on social?
Raynell Sa _JR Instagram.
All right. And Jermaine, where can people find you?
November Montgomery, all platforms. You said we had feedback in the comment section.
Yeah.
Pull it up.
We have someone named Kay.
I don't know who
Shout
that
out
is.
Kay.
Did he write something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had
ready.
it on the screen.
It
Boom.
didn't show.
Ready. It says ready. That's it.
It shows.
Oh, yeah, that's my son.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what's up, Kev?
What up? So, and I'm Jamal. You can find me at Jamal is Good on Blue Sky and on Instagram. And that is our show for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Much love to Marcela.
Yep, absolutely.
ciao.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So we are the RJ Square Podcast, where the combo never stops. If you vibe with us tonight, please do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Drop a comment, and we want to hear from you. So please subscribe, as I said. And we are here Mondays and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern for now on YouTube and Instagram. Until next time, keep it grown, keep it honest, and as always, join the conversation. Thank you so
Salud.
much. All right, that's it.
Cut live.